Okay, so here's how you manage your hunger, and ultimately, this will allow you to hopefully diet a little bit better, or if you're trying to gain weight, eat a little bit better as well. So, when it comes to eating food, there are a couple food, not food. I don't know what food is. It's a new word. I just created it. But food is important for well, keeping us alive. So, when it comes to food, anytime you eat food and it goes into your stomach, there are two main hormones that kind of control overall regulation of if you become more hungry or if you become more full. So these two hormones are called ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin is a hormone that is secreted when your body is needing calories, it's needing energy, it's needing food. The way you can tell the difference between ghrelin and leptin, which is a hormone that controls satiety or your ability to basically feel full, is in the actual word. So ghrelin, one of the mnemonics that my teacher taught me when I was going to the University of Iowa is ghrelin equals growl. So ghrelin is like the growl, right? Gurgle in your stomach is in you're hungry. And basically I just remember that, and if you remember that ghrelin is what's going to stimulate hunger and growling in your stomach, then leptin is the complete opposite. It's going to basically help you keep full, right? So when it comes to certain foods, protein in general is going to be one of the highest satiety foods. And as we just talked about, leptin is secreted when you are satiated and you are feeling full. So it would make sense to increase leptin in your body. In particular, you can obviously eat any food, but protein in particular is very high satiety. And one of the big reasons because of this is because it actually just takes a lot of energy to break down this food. Protein in itself actually has the highest thermic effect of food, which simply is the amount of energy it takes to actually break down the food. So some of you may not realize this, but it actually takes a little bit of energy to break down the food you eat. So you eat the food and you get calories from it, but it takes some of the calories, not necessarily from that specific food, likely from food earlier, that will actually break down the food that you're eating right now. So it's kind of a cool paradox. Obviously you need energy to do it. It doesn't just come out of the ether, so your body's doing that. And protein in itself is one of the highest satiety foods. So if you're trying to diet, it's a good idea to eat more higher protein foods, not only because it's high satiety, so you won't eat as much, but also when you're dieting, it takes a lot more protein to keep your lean muscle. And the more lean muscle you have when you are dieting, the more fat you will lose in relation to muscle loss. And if you keep a lot of muscle or most of your muscle and lose a good amount of fat when you're dieting through a high protein diet when you're dieting, you're going to look the best, you're going to feel the best, and when you start bulking again over time, just trying to gain a little bit more muscle, you're going to be in a really good setting because you're already very, very lean. So I think I missed something, but comment down below your experience of this, and hopefully this, weight gain, complete opposite. We're not done yet. So if you're trying to gain weight, complete opposite of this. You don't need nearly as much protein when you're trying to gain weight, because when you're in a calorie surplus, you only need a really, really tiny bit of protein to actually stimulate muscle protein synthesis. So if you're a bodybuilder and you're already eating a bunch of carbs and a bunch of fat, you really don't need that much protein. 0.82 grams per pound of body weight is plenty, and probably maybe even a little more than you actually need. I'm kind of in a calorie surplus right now, and I don't really even track my protein. I just kind of have a couple meals a day with decent protein. At the end of the day, if I feel like I haven't had enough, I'll just have a protein shake. So I'm probably getting around like maybe 100 to 120 grams of protein a day. I'm weighing about 170 pounds right now, so I don't know the math on that. I feel good. I'm gaining strength. I'm gaining muscle. I'm staying fairly lean. But you don't need as much, so it would make sense to eat less protein because you're trying to eat overall more calories when you're trying to gain weight. That puts this all in a bow. Hopefully you got something good from this. Protein.